welcome to the Wellness Team Call. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of January. It's just after 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and we are going to be joined tonight by Dr. Cesar Fernandez of the VIDAFY Wellness Team. Now, Dr. Fernandez, so you all know, he was trained in Stanford University in nutrition science. He is also a medical doctor with an emphasis on surgery and emergency room care. He is was a member of the Honduras Ministry of Public Health. That is a national role that he held there. He has a master's degree in healthcare management. He has been the managing medical director for stem cells banking and research. And I think as important as anything, he's got 30 years, more than 30 years of experience in medicine and more than 25 years experience in network marketing. So he has seen everything that's out there. He has worked with companies. He has consulted. He has been a distributor. He has been a leader. He has been a speaker, a trainer, and he has chosen VIDAFY. He has a great relationship with Shane Brady, and he and his wife Carolina, with Shane and Laura, have been friends and connections for years, even from, I'm going to say years. I won't say decades, because that would imply he is even older than I am, and that is not possible. But we'd love to welcome Dr. Fernandez. Give us a little background. Cesar, are you there?
Yes, Dave.
There he is. Thank you and welcome.
Hello.
Give us, if you will, give us a 30-second background on where you are in your relationship with Shane. How did you come to meet Shane Brady and Laura?
Wow, this was 15 years ago, by the way. And in that time, I was looking for something to enter the health and wellness industry, and I met Shane, and he was a vice president of this company, and we became great friends. We got great achievements with that company. Then he moved through the other one, and destiny, we get together again in that other company, and we achieved a lot of results also. So, and we became good friends with Shane and Laura at that time, and he and other people were asking me, why now, and why did you choose VIDAFY? And I am telling them that for the last 5 years, I was out of the market in the network marketing development. I was okay, I'm not happy what is happening. The companies doesn't fulfill myself, and I was like, now I think I'm not gonna build anything anymore, this thing anymore. I'm not gonna be part of the scientific advisory boards of the companies. And when I started to talk again to Shane, and he told me, take a look at this, then I realized we were at the next level of supplementation for the near future. So that's why I am here right now. I'm very, very honored and very proud of being part of the VIDAFY team and the wellness team also. So that's the answer to your question, Dave.
I love it. I love it. And we all love it. So welcome. We're so thrilled that you're with us, not only because of your background and your training and your experience, but you're also, and I'll just say it, you don't have to respond, you're a fun personality. You've got a great atmosphere around you. Maybe it's because Carolina helps you look good and makes you look like a super smart marketing guy. But the reality is you're fun to work with, you're fun to travel with, you're fun to build a business with. So we welcome you. And now officially, Dr. Fernandez, the time is yours. Take it away. We're eager to hear from you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. And thank you to all the people that are in the call. And I'm very excited about this. It's my first call. Well, it's the first wellness team call officially from the corporate. First of all, I need to give the recognition to Dr. Jeremy Thornton that keep this alive in the scientific area all this time. Now, for the first time, the wellness team, as part of the corporate with Dr. Jeremy Thornton and Dr. Gavet, are taking place and are talking to you all. And thank you for your assistance. Now we're going to get started right now, because most of the people asked me, you were in surgery several years, you were in emergency rooms. What are you doing here in nutrition and health and healthy lifestyles? So that was a switch in my life, because for several years I found that I wasn't reaching the people on time. I wasn't getting there the right time. I understand that I need to go back to make a real impact in people so they could have a better expectation in their future, not in emergency room, not in a surgery room, but in the health and well, a healthy lifestyle results. So let's get started here with the slides so I could show you something. Today is the first of several interventions, and the first talk that we're going to have today is the wellness at the cellular level. Wellness at the cellular level. So I'm going to ask you a question. What if we could understand how we could have wellness at a cellular level, and why at a cellular level? So I'm gonna begin to answer these questions. And first of all, we need to know that cells have four things they need to survive: oxygen, water, nutrients, and protection. Okay, four things. Keep that in mind. So the levels of cell organization in the body are very easy. If you understand one cell, you could understand the human being. Living cells group together to form tissues, tissues group together to form organs, different organs group together to form systems, and different systems group together to form an organism, which is you and I. So if we understand the levels of cell organization, we also understand that the level is the principal unit of the human being. So the levels of cell organization, for example, an osteocyte is the bone cell, then the tissue is the skeletal tissue, then the organ is the bone, and then we have the system, which is the skeletal system. So that's the same for all the levels of organization of cells in the body. So as Hippocrates says, our food should be our medicine, and our medicine should be our food. For that time, that was totally true. But now we know that there's a myth. You are what you eat. Have you heard this before? You are what you eat. That's not totally true, because you are what you eat, what you absorb, what you become available in your blood and in your cells, and also what you eliminate. It's four things, not just what you absorb. So the thing is that all the systems, mostly all the systems are involved in the nutrition process. Almost all the systems. As you could see over there, as you remember, we need water, we need oxygen, we need nutrients, and we need protection. We're gonna show you the first three of them. When you ingest the food and water in your digestive system, the first system, then you put oxygen when you inhale air. That's the respiratory system. When you pull the oxygen into your circulatory system, and when you put food and water in your digestive system, it is absorbed in your intestines and then go to the circulatory system. So nutrients and oxygen goes through your circulatory system and go all the way to each and every one of your cells. In your cells, the metabolism took place, and well, you obtain ADP, which is the energy, and a lot of results, but also this metabolism produces waste substances and CO2, carbon dioxide. So what happens is waste substances go out through feces, through the kidney, in the urine system, and the digestive system, and also the CO2 goes through the circulatory system, through the veins, go to the lungs, and then from the lungs they go out as exhaled air, and you brought out all the CO2. So as you could see, all the systems, mostly most of the systems are involved in the nutrition process. So why is that important? That's important because your lifestyle is like a waterfall for all the chronic diseases, because the dietary intake and the physical activity, if you could read over there, excessive calories, inadequate fiber, excessive refined carbohydrates, excessive sodium, excessive fats, and lack of exercise, brought you from the lifestyle you're creating to risk factors, which are elevated HbAs, which are glycosylated hemoglobin, elevated blood pressure, adipocytokines, unfavorable serum lipids, and excessive body fats. These are risk factors. And the risk factors takes you to chronic diseases, obesity, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, several types of cancers. So as you could see, if you take care of your lifestyle, the waterfall are not going to reach chronic diseases. So it's your decision. And it's very important to understand, like the CDC, National Center of Chronic Diseases Prevention, says, 6 out of 10 adults in the US have chronic diseases, and 4 out of 10 adults in the US have 2 or more. The leading causes of death and disability and leading drivers of the nation's 4.1 trillion in annual health care costs are heart diseases, cancer, chronic lung, stroke, Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, and chronic kidney diseases. Wow. That really impresses me. And one other thing, the CDC says the key lifestyle risks for chronic disease is tobacco use, excessive alcohol use, lack of physical activity, and poor nutrition. Things that are in your hands to make a decision to have a healthy lifestyle. So what if the Time magazine have the reason when they said several years ago, maybe 20 years ago, the secret killer is inflammation? You know, they said it was surprising, the link between inflammation and heart attacks, cancer, Alzheimer's, and all these chronic diseases in our lives. So the thing is that chronic inflammation etiology have been identified in this journal, the nature.com. So we have causes, we have the chronic inflammation, the systemic chronic inflammation, and we have consequences. The causes have been identified already, as I said: chronic infections, physical inactivity, obesity, especially visceral obesity, intestinal dysbiosis, poor diet, isolation and chronic stress, disturbed sleep, and xenobiotics. So as chemicals and, you know, all these things that disturb our lives. So when this starts rolling, the system, the system chronic inflammation causes consequences that are also identified at this day: metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, NAFLD, which is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, cardiovascular disease, cancer, depression, autoimmune diseases, neurodegenerative diseases, sarcopenia, osteoporosis, immunosenescence. You know, this is already accepted in the scientific community. So if you understand this, you understand all. But there's one more thing that you need to understand. The inflammation is one of the aspects, but there's another thing which is the formation of free radicals through the metabolism, ultraviolet light, air pollution, etc., that impacts the cell and damage the DNA inside every cell. And you know, inside every cell, the DNA, you have what we call in science the DNA expression. So when you understand that these free radicals and inflammation start sending bombs colliding with the cellular membrane, and steps into the cell and damage the nucleus and the DNA, there's when you understand what's going on and what's this all of these waterfall symptoms that you're having right now. This is how it looks a normal cell. That's free radicals, and at the end we have a cell with oxidative stress, which is the oxidative stress is the accumulation of toxic substances inside the cell that produce our metabolism and all of the other aspects that we are talking about. It is the most destructive phenomenon at a cellular level, but there is a protein called NRF2. Remember that name, that letters, that is the reason, that is the responsible for keeping oxidative stress under control. So free radical oxidative stress and inflammation touches every part of your body because they are the responsible of the damage of every cell. Name it: brain, heart, eyes, kidneys, skins, joints, immune system, lungs, any of them. So knowing this, we need to make a decision. Are we going to illness way? Are we going to wellness way? Which way are you willing to go to? So there's a way you could make a decision and identify where you are right now. It's a quick test that Dr. John Travis in 1972 named it Illness Wellness Continuum. You just choose a number from 0 to 10, and it will show you if you're going in the wellness developing way or in the disease developing way. As you could see, we have a middle comfort zone, which is called the false wellness. For me, this is the most dangerous place to be, because when you're sick, when you have pure health, you know. When you are in good health or optimal health, you know. But when you're in a false wellness, in a comfort zone, in a neutral zone with no symptoms, you're inconsistent in nutrition. You didn't make any exercise. Your health is not your high priority. What happens is that you are not feeling sick. So when you go to pure health, maybe you have a 2 or a 3, you have symptoms, you are in a drug therapy, maybe you had surgery, maybe you're losing normal function, and if you're a 7 or 8, you are in good health. You make exercise in a regular way, you good nutrition, wellness education, minimal nerve interference. So what happens is that if you first know where you are, then you are going to make the decision where you want to be. But don't get confused. Just because you're not sick, it doesn't mean you're well. Understand that? If you are in the comfort zone, or if you are in a disease developing way or in a wellness developing way, you need to identify that to get to an optimal health, or maybe go to pure or to a disease. Okay, so let's go on. What I'm trying to tell you is that the focus in the medical doctors should be integral health and wellness. It involves nutrition, exercise, relaxation, recreation, relationships, spirituality, giving back. It's an integral health and wellness. It's not just one thing, it's integral. So what happens is, I'm gonna ask you for 4 things right now. What if we start to pay attention to pro-inflammatory foods? Yes, pro-inflammatory foods, like, for example, refined sugars, corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, for example, saturated fats, trans fats, GMOs in food. You need to be aware of all of this. This is gonna hit you very, very hard, and are gonna take you to oxidation and inflammation, and in the way you're gonna have symptoms, and you're gonna have a disease. But to make that decision, you need to have a mindset change. pro-inflammatory diet against anti-inflammatory diet. Why did I put this this slide? Because the decision is up here. Because as I could tell you, food is addictive. Why? Because the refined sugars, saturated fats, what happens is they produce a storm of neurotransmitters in your brain, such as dopamine, such as serotonin. And what happens is that you feel happy, you feel pleasure, and that is addictive. And that's why you need to change your mindset and change it to an anti-inflammatory diet to have the results. What if we started to make some physical exercise? If you don't make time for exercise, you'll probably have to make time for illness. So start physical exercise in a daily basis. Number 3, what if we start to take care of mental health? Remember, I tell you, integrative health and wellness. It's mind and body. It's two things together, integrative. So start meditation, maybe yoga, maybe praying, maybe smile, maybe try to dance, listen to music, be happy, have positive relations, not toxic one, nature contact, exercise. So mental health is a very, very, very important part of this integrative health and wellness. And last but not least, implement nutritional supplements. Maybe 20 years or 30 years from now, this was optional. Now, today, it's mandatory. It's life or death decision. Why? Let me ask you a question. How many of you here, there are 78 people inside here in the call, how many of you seriously have 4 to 5 rations of fruits and vegetables, which provides you antioxidants, micronutrients, anti-inflammatory compounds? How many of you? When I ask these questions to audiences, maybe 2 or 3 persons out of 100 says, I have the 4 to 5 rations of fruits and vegetables. But the other 95 or 97 says, no way, I don't have time. I don't like it. I don't like fruits, or I don't like vegetables. You know, what the thing is that you need to ask, you need to answer two questions. The first one is why. This is part of the why. Okay. And the second one is which nutritional supplement. That's a little bit more difficult because out there's a lot of offer of nutritional supplements. It's $1 billion industry. Everyone says, I have the best ones, but how many of them have the science support behind them? So if this is a life or death decision, you need to answer why and which nutritional supplements you need to put in your diet today. So I'm going to talk about this herb that when I heard about it from Mr. Shane Brady, I said, okay, I've heard about curcuma, I've heard about turmeric, yes, I've heard it's well, it's good, and it's had a lot of benefits. But when I started to read, when I started to get involved with all the information, for example, Chronicles of Complementary, Alternative, and Integrative Medicine says curcumin, the golden nutraceutical from the most powerful herb in the planet, turmeric. Wow, that sounds amazing. But what is turmeric? Turmeric is a plant. What is actually used is the root, the rhizome, or the turmeric plant. It's in the tradition because it's been around us for more than 4,000 years. In India, it has been used in cooking and pigment for textiles, in health, in cosmetics, etc. But what you need to know is that only 3 to 5% of the turmeric root is curcumin. Curcumin, which is the bioactive ingredient that we are searching for. Curcumin. So, what is curcumin? The main bioactive component of turmeric, it has a lipophilic nature, it dissolves in fat, it does not dissolve in water, and it's the world's most studied functional food component to the day. So, wow. So this curcumin, what can we say about it? What if I could tell you that curcumin is a modulator of all the inflammatory processes? Huh? What if I tell you that all the inflammatory pathways, like atherosclerosis, like inflammatory bowel disease, like osteoarthritis, like virus, like skin disorders, like neurological disorders, have an inflammation, an oxidation pathway that curcumin is involved, and it's been said in 2021 in the anti-inflammatory effects of curcumin in the inflammatory disease, here in the bibliography of the PubMed, the National Institute of Health of the United States. So what else? What if I could tell you we could help you to protect your heart? How does curcumin helps the heart and blood vessels? It's understood that it's two pathways that you get atherosclerosis, for example. And one is the oxidation. It's the one here, lipid peroxidation, high triglycerides, high cholesterol. So you have lipid deposits in your arteries. And the other way is the inflammation. The inflammation, all the inflammation pathways, all the damage that the blood vessel suffers, and one of them, the most important, is the adhesion of molecules inside the blood vessel. So if you put inflammation and lipid deposit, you have the ingredients to have a problem in your cardiovascular system. So it's mentioned in the protective effects of curcumin in cardiovascular diseases and the impact on oxidative stress in 2022 on PubMed, National Institute of Health. Every slide I'm showing, you could see down here the bibliography, so you could get to the journal and you could read it yourself. Protective curcumin in myocardial infarction, for example. The same inflammation, oxidative stress, injury, fibrosis, inflammation pathway. Curcumin is in the middle. It could be in the right place at the right time if you make the decision to take it and become a part of your dietary in a daily basis. What if we could have a better sugar control? What if the complication of diabetes, which is hyperglycemia, they elevated the ROS, which is oxidative markers. They elevated the AGEs, which are the glycoid agents, pro-inflammatory markers. And what did they produce? Lipid peroxidation, oxidative stress, inflammation, endothelial dysfunction, apoptosis. And this is the physiology or physiopathology of micro and macrovascular complications in your brain, in your extremities, in your kidney, in your eyes, in your heart, in your nervous system. All of this is mentioned in the Frontiers of Endocrinology 2021 journal. So these effects, these complications could be blocked by curcumin. They say it over there in Frontiers of Endocrinology. The effects of curcumin on diabetes a systematic review.
What?
So you could see diabetes, it could be blocked by curcumin in hyperglycemia, oxidative stress, inflammatory process. And also could give you amazing support in systemic complications, such as hypertension, dyslipidemia, neuropathy, and nephropathy, and also endothelial dysfunction. Wow, this was amazing. When I started reading all of this, and I talked to Shane, he says, Shane, you have gold in your hands. And he says, yes, golden drops. That's what he answered. So as you could see, we are not going to talk about all the conditions, health conditions tonight, but the British Journal of Pharmacology in 2017, they put it together. And as you could see, viral diseases, inflammatory diseases, metabolic diseases, cardiovascular diseases, all of this are impacted in a positive and an amazing way for curcumin. But now there's something you need to know. The hidden secret in the supplements industry. Science has discovered that many phytonutrients and phytochemicals, curcumin is one of them, have intestinal absorption and bioavailability problems. It's not just curcumin. A lot of phytonutrients and phytochemicals, they are never going to tell you. They're going to show you this flyer and this information, but they are not going to tell you that when you take one supplement, only 20 or 30% or 10% is absorbed and go to the bloodstream and reach your cells and tissues. So what happens? The low concentration in blood and tissue has been shown in drug and metabolism and disposition study, and it says some research suggests that only about 2% of curcumin taken orally is transported to tissues through the blood. And in less than 3 hours, it is gone. That means 98% of the curcumin in the bloodstream is conjugated curcumin and is eliminated through feces. Wow. So turmeric, amazing. Curcumin, amazing. What do we do now? It doesn't matter how much curcumin is consumed. What matters is the curcumin that reaches the tissues. That's the main thing. And I'm going to ask you a question now. Do you want maximum benefits from turmeric curcumin? There's a hope. What if I could tell you that in 2020, Frontiers in Pharmacology says nanocurcumin, a promising candidate for therapeutical applications. Wow. I was impacted by this document when I read nanocurcumin. It increases at all the biological and pharmacological benefits of curcumin, which was not significantly possible earlier. So this is the way, nanocurcumin. What do we expect with nanocurcumin or nanotechnology applied to nutraceuticals? Through technology, you could obtain, as you could see here with the yellow arrow, we could obtain nanoparticles, polymeric micelles, and nanoemulsions that are ingested, and you could improve the oral bioavailability. I told you this, prolong shelf life, enhance solubility, reduce the side effects, control the release. You could have a target delivery, co-delivery of active components, for example, curcumin with vitamin D, for example, right? Use of GRAS ingredients. GRAS is generally recommended as safe. Protection of sensitive food ingredients. It even influences in how it smells, the aroma. So this is an amazing discovery, and it's been already accepted by the science all over the world. So what if nanocurcumin, that plays an important role in anti-inflammatory activity, antioxidant activity, neuroprotection, hepatoprotection, cardiovascular protection, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic. So it's been said in the Frontiers of Pharmacology journal as a promising candidate therapeutic applications. So we have this in our hands, the nano curcumin. And the good news is that the University of Hohenheim in Germany, with funding from the Federal Ministry for Education and Research, after years of trying to reach the proper technology, they reach what our products has. A German patented nanotechnology called BioMS. Our partner lab in Germany uses patented biomimetic nanotechnology to mimic the body's ability to convert lipid-soluble substances to a missile structure that is water-soluble and easily assimilated into the bloodstream. This process increases the bioavailability of our lipid ingredients an average of 185 times and up to 277 times, and markedly improves their effectiveness in the body. Wow, that is our molecule. That is amazing. And last but not least, as I says, what if we could be people that go out there and sell the problem that we solve, not a product? That's a mindset also. What if we could go out and when people saw us, they say, wow, there comes Robert. That guy makes a great impact on my lifestyle. And I am now having quality of life the rest of my future because of the golden drops he showed me. Sell the problem you solve, not the product. Put that in the mindset. And at the end, if you do not make time for your wellness, you will be forced to make time for your illness. Read that again. If you do not make time for your wellness, you will be forced to make time for your illness. Okay? After this, we're gonna have a lot of talks. Dr. Jeremy is gonna take the next one. Then I'm coming back every 15 days. We're gonna be here together, and we're gonna then talk about the nanotechnology. We're gonna talk about the products, about how to use them, etc. And believe me, this is just the first talk. It's the basis. Now we're gonna go and started talking about the technology and the products. And I appreciate your attention. And I see the 78 people are still here, so maybe they are not bored. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Shane. And thank you all for your attention.
Thanks to you, Dr. Fernandez. If you will clear that screen, I don't want to keep looking at that. I'm joking. It's a perfect statement. If we don't take time for our wellness, we will be forced to take time for our illness. That's a great way to put it. So we appreciate that. We appreciate your time and your attention. We're eager to have this information shared with as many people as we know. I put in the chat what we call a disclaimer. Dr. Fernandez was speaking about the nutritional characteristics of a botanical ingredient called turmeric and one of its extractions called curcumin. He is not talking about VIDAFY, nanofy, Curcumin Plus as a product. We're talking about conditions and ways that we need to be able to take care of ourselves. So again, we do not we're not claiming to treat, prevent, cure, or detect any condition or illness. We want people to try these things for themselves, to give yourself an opportunity, see what it can do for you. That's the only request we make. And if it doesn't work for you, then please let us know and we might need to address something. But we're hearing overwhelmingly that it does work for so many people. So thank you again to Dr. Fernandez. Thank you to all of you for joining us, taking time out of your evening, morning, midday, lunchtime, wherever you are. We know that's an investment of your time, and we think it was well worthwhile. Dr. Fernandez, muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much to everyone. And we look forward to seeing you again on some upcoming calls. Have a great night, a great day, wherever you may be, and a big hug and a hello from VIDAFY worldwide. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.